Coventry City Football Club. Yes. Enjoy the video.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good, thanks. Yeah. Can't see very well. It's very light behind you.
Yeah, just before I say anything, I just want to thank you because I know you're a very, very busy person.
No, thank you. I've been looking forward to doing it for a long time, to be quite honest, but it is particularly busy at the moment.
Dave, or do you prefer David?
Dave is absolutely fine. Yeah, I'm Dave. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Dave. Dave, could you please tell us a bit about yourself? What is it? What is your history in football, and how did you become CEO of Coventry City?
Right, that's a long answer. I've worked in professional sport most of my working life. I ran my own business for a long period of time and then sold it to a company called Club Call, who ran telephone information services prior to the internet being launched. So I ran Club Call for a few years. And I was also chairman of Worcester City Football Club, which is my hometown. They were the team I supported from a boy. And I was director for 10 years, chairman for 6 there. And whilst I was there, I was a director of what is now the National League. And I was then the conference. So when I resigned as director of Worcester City, I went to work for the conference for 3 years, and then missing the involvement of the day-to-day involvement of being involved with the club. I was keen to get back involved in a club, and I was fortunate enough to get the position of chief executive at Newport County. They were in the conference at the time, but again, very fortunate that the season that I joined them, Newport County got promoted to the Football League via winning the conference playoff final at Wembley. So had 2 and a bit years there and was out of the game for just over 12 months, and then joined Coventry. And the way it came about was I saw an advert I was obviously keen to get back in the game. I saw an advert for the position of commercial director. Applied for it. Mark Venus was sort of running the club on a day-to-day basis at the time. He interviewed me, came back for a second interview with him and Tim Fisher, and they very kindly offered me the job. So I joined the club in February 2017 as commercial director. Then Mark left the club just prior to the Checkatrade final, and there was they advertised for a chief executive, and I applied for it and fortunately got it. So that's how it came about. It seems a long time ago now, but it's been a great journey. And so I joined the club, I say, on 1st of February 2017. Mark Robbins joined it was early March, same year. So we've been on the journey together, really, and it's been great fun.
Could you tell me about what a CEO in a football club does on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I think my role, I effectively run the club and manage the club. So the business is split up into various different departments. We've obviously got commercial department, finance, press, PR, obviously the football department, academy. And my sort of day-to-day role is to manage those departments. So they've all got heads of departments, and we obviously have weekly heads of department meetings, but they've all got their needs. So I basically manage those departments on a day-to-day basis, including Mark and the football side of things. So that's what the day-to-day role looks like. But in a bigger picture, it's about setting policy, how obviously helping with the budgeting, etc. So I basically see myself as the driver of the bus, if you like, and Mark Robbins drives the club forward on a football basis, and I try to drive all the other areas, including the supporting what he's wanting from a football point of view.
What is your relationship with Mark Robbins like, and how good is he? And how good is he to you?
The relationship is brilliant. We speak daily. even when we're not in the building together. Because obviously there's times when he's at home or I'm at home, and vice versa. So we speak on a daily basis. We've had a meeting this morning. They're always informal meetings. We just chat about the situations. We've been talking about the squad this morning and what further he wants to do in terms of developing the squad for next season. So we had about an hour chat about that this morning. We get on unbelievably well. We both know the constraints that the club are under, so we both know the guidelines that we're working to, and Mark is sort of brilliant in terms of working to that. And obviously, like all managers, there's times when he pushes to get more, always for the right reasons. No, we get on really well. There's a great chemistry, and hopefully that's come across in terms of what we've delivered together. And whilst Mark is always at the front of it, and rightly so, it's been a great team effort from everybody behind the scenes. We've got, I mentioned heads of departments earlier. We've got some great heads of departments and a great staff. So the key to the success, other than obviously how they've planned it on the field, it has been sort of teamwork and togetherness. We've got a great spirit at Brighton, and we have had ever since we started the League Two campaign to obviously try and get back into League One. The spirit within the building has always been excellent. The spirit within the playing groups excellent, and that's how it's worked really.
It really changed it from Coventry, from going down to League Two. We seem to have a massive come together and a different mindset of shifting, being a lot more positive, a lot more fans engagement. Sisu seems to be backing us now, where they didn't seem to do it before. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Sorry. I think that's a fair comment. I think it was the chemistry of the people in the building that changed things. And I'll give people, supporters will know Juggy. Juggy came to me at about just after I joined the club and wanted to form the Leamington and Warwick Supporters Club, and he did that, and they launched that League Two promotion season, and that gave us a platform to get back, towards supporters. Mark Robbins and all the players have supported Leamington and Warwick, and then obviously the subsequent groups that started after that, Bedworth and Nuneaton, and the other groups that come. Mark and the players have supported that brilliantly. I think that's brought certainly helped to bring supporters and the players and football staff together, and that's been an important part of the journey, to be honest.
And I can't remember a time where the players and the team mix so much with fans.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like I said, since League Two, it's been fantastic, hasn't it? We really gelled together as a unit now, I feel.
But it's so important as well. The bond between players and supporters is there for all to see. I thought the atmosphere at Birmingham last season was excellent, but particularly away from home. And I know you go to away games because that's where I met you. Obviously, I mean, actually, can you remember which game it was that we met at? By the way, I can remember it vividly.
I think it was Rochdale, wasn't
it? It was away to Rochdale.
How good was last season's kit? When do you think this season's kit will be out?
The kit last season, it was brilliant, wasn't it? We moved to Hummel, who allow you to design bespoke kits, shirts, and we had. I talked about the heads of department. There were 4 of us involved in the design of all the shirts that you've seen at the moment, which is myself, Mark Hornby, who heads up our media and comms, Tynan Scope, who's head of commercial, and Mike Reed, who's head of football operations. The 4 of us worked very, very closely on the designs with Hummel, and Hummel have got a brilliant artist called Rob Revel as well, who does their designs. It was obviously a retro shirt, going back to the shirt in the late 80s, which was a popular shirt then, and you still see the original shirt around. We spent a lot of time, more time probably than I've ever spent in my career, designing shirts, and we continue to do so for next season. So You know, the amount of time we spent on the two-tone shirt, which you're wearing at the moment.
Yeah.
What was quite phenomenal, but the rewards we got for it, you know, I mean, it was received around the world. We on the online platform that we sell it from, in the first week, I think we sold the shirt to about 40 different countries. So
Wow.
it's quite incredible that the reception that shirt got.
I think I read, is it the best selling shirt of all our season's shirts? Is it this last season and the season before, is it?
Well, we don't have any records going back into the sort of Premier League days, unfortunately. But collectively, the three shirts, we believe, have probably outsold. You know, they've sold probably more than any previous shirt sold. That's our belief, but we've got no record of that, so which is a shame. So going on to next season's shirts, they were designed and signed off a long time ago, last year, because there's quite a long lead time in terms of manufacture. Not quite sure, because of COVID, we're not quite sure when we're going to launch it yet. The aim originally was to hopefully have it on sale by the Rangers game Saturday week, but that's not going to be possible. So we're not quite sure, but it will happen sometime in early August, I would think.
Okay, that's good.
About the shirts, I feel like Hummel's like our lucky designer kit, because in '87 didn't we have a Hummel kit, and then
The FA Cup.
won the FA Cup, and now we're in League One. We put Hummel on our top, and then we win the League One trophy.
You could well be right. I think Hummel shirt followed the FA Cup win. If I might be wrong, but I think it wasn't a Hummel shirt that we won the cup in, but we had it the year afterwards. So they're great people to work with, and it was a really good decision to move from Nike to Hummel.
Yeah, like you said, it's our history, isn't it? The PS Play Up Sky Blues in it, the little two-tone. It's just fantastic. It's like it's our kit rather than just off the shelf, isn't it? It's gone really well.
That's the sort of detail that we've worked on and spent so much time on, and you can't do that with Nike. They don't allow you to have bespoke shirts. So that detail is what makes it ours, and that's what we're really proud of.
Funny, did stopping the League One, the league cost City in the loss of revenues?
Well, we believe it costs at least £500,000 in terms of match revenues and associated match revenues. And then when you look at other things like yesterday, we announced the refunds process for season tickets holders and whatever. So not only lost revenue, but revenue we have to return as well. We're in the region of £1 million, I would have thought.
Wow.
Which is a lot of money when you consider the business generally turns over between 5 and 6 million.
How did you celebrate League One?
That's winning League One.
Well, it was quite surreal for me, really, because it had been dragging on for so long with the EFL making the decision to end the season, and it was quite a painful process, because you can imagine that there were some clubs that were, that the league was quite tight below us in terms of the playoff places, and there were clubs that were affected that didn't make the playoffs. The clubs were affected in various ways, so it wasn't a nice process. It wasn't an easy process. There were lots of telephone calls between the whole clubs that were quite heated and got quite personal, and it dragged on and on and on. And the EFL had to make sure that they did what was right for everybody, and had to try and cover every scenario in terms of avoiding legal action, which I think they did. So when the call that it was actually decided on, I was in the building in my office, and Mark Robbins was in the office as well, and we knew it was going to happen on that day, but Mark was so nervous. It was unbelievable. I've never seen him nervous. He doesn't do nervous, but he was nervous for the sort of 2 or 3 minutes that we were waiting for the decision after when the vote was being taken. So so in terms of celebrating, obviously the players had a get together. The players came here and socially distanced here. Mark felt it was important that the group were able to get together. And then obviously we had the online party, which I don't know what thought about the online part?
We loved it. We really enjoyed it.
I ended up on it like 3 times.
Yeah, the picture. Yeah.
The exact same picture.
There you go.
It was good. Yeah, it was
Brilliant.
really good, wasn't it?
So, and then the players have had some time together somewhere else as well. They had a little get together, but obviously we've all got to be mindful of social distancing, and we're still doing that. They're training at the moment, and you know, the protocol that we've got in place to obviously test people, keep people apart. They're not allowed in the building, so we are trying to follow all social distancing rules, you know, as best you can when you're involved in a contact sport. So celebrations weren't what we would have probably hoped. They weren't the normal celebrations. We didn't have the opportunity, obviously, to lift the trophy at a game on, you know, after a game. We haven't had the opportunity to do the open top bus parade.
Do you think we'd do that even after the season starts? Well, when the season starts, we'll have an open top bus parade, or do you think it'd be gone?
I think it's unlikely. I think once the season kicks off for real, I think then we've moved on and we need to concentrate on the season we're involved with. If it's possible to do something before the season kicks off, then we absolutely will, and that just depends on the government position at the time. When we organised the online party, we had a safety advisory group meeting with the council to let them know about the plans for the fireworks, etc. And we told them there and then that we would try and do a bus parade if it was at all possible, so that they're aware of it. And I think they're supportive of it if it can be achieved. So, but that would need to be prior to the season starting.
Okay.
What is your biggest challenge that the club will face next season off the pitch?
Off the pitch, wow. I think we need to continue to, you know, obviously on the pitch we have to focus on staying in the Championship. You know, I think it's recognised that we will have the bottom budget in the league, or certainly one of the bottom 3 budgets in the league. So we have to overachieve again to stay in the league, and there are some massive budgets. So that's the challenge on the field, and that's what we're focusing on. We are focusing on, you know, if we finish 4th and bottom, then we've achieved next season in the Championship. In my opinion, we're aiming to do better than that, but that's got to be the objective. Off the field, we've got to try and grow the club in line with the Championship club. That, you know, and grow the revenues as best we can to match what Mark's doing on the field. But again, that could be difficult because it's such an uncertain time with COVID.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know we can't talk about the Rico because it's everything going on under that. But I suppose getting back to the Rico or our own ground is one of the main things we need to do for get our finances in check. Yeah,
that's got to be the long-term goal, and I don't know which way that's going to go. It is in the balance. That's all I can say about that. I think a decision will be made sooner rather than later, and probably sooner than people would expect. But to get the long-term future right for the club, then you're right. We have to be in Coventry.
Yeah.
How does it work getting new signings?
We've got a very, well, I think we've got a very good process. Mark obviously sets out the style of play, the way that he wants to play, and we've got a recruitment department. Chap called Chris Badland heads our recruitment department up, and we've got others in the guy called Stuart Bentham. They're both full-time employees of the club, and then we've got a team of 6 or 7 part-time scouts underneath that. So Mark sets out the parameters of the way that he wants to play, the type of players that he wants to play within that system, and then it's down to Chris and his team to go and recruit those players within the spending parameters that we've got. And you know, obviously Mark and Adi have been brilliantly successful on the pitch, but I think, you know, Chris deserves a tremendous amount of praise for the work that he's done in bringing the players into the building to make it possible for Mark and Adi to make it happen. So you know, I've been on record as saying that you know, last season our playing budget was mid-table, and the EFL do a benchmarking exercise, so you can see, you don't know which clubs are spending the money, but they send you a league table of budgets and they tell you what your budget was within that league table. So we were about 11th in terms of budgets playing wise last season. So to achieve promotion from that position was a tremendous achievement from everybody within the building. And as I say, we'll have to overachieve again next season to stay in the Championship. But the process is good. It's robust. We spend a lot of time. The players that we've just brought in this week, Gustavo, Aimer, Hilsner, Costa, we've been monitoring them for the last 12 months.
Oh, wow.
Chris knew that he wanted. We had a set of players that we wanted for the Championship, and then obviously if we're in League One, a set of players we wanted for League One, and so Hamer, Hilsner, and Da Costa were on our Championship list from as early as probably this time last year, and we work on the deals. We've been working on the deals since Christmas, really. So it's not just happened in the last week when you see it happen. I think Mark wants to strengthen all departments within the team. So I think he's looking at all areas still. He still wants to do a lot of work, and I think strikers, are probably top of that list.
Is there any other players over the years that we couldn't get over the line?
We haven't missed many, to be fair, off of our target list. I think Collins obviously went to Luton from Crawley in our first year. When we were recruiting for the League Two season, I think he was high on our list. But Luton spent a lot of money on him. From memory, it was circa 500,000, which was beyond us at the time. I think we probably offered in the region of 150k for him, which was, we weren't spending any money at that time on players. So I don't think we'd spent a transfer on a player for a long time at that point. So I think we missed him. We would like to have brought him in. I can't remember the sequence. I can't remember whether Mark McNulty came in after him as a result of not getting him or not. So it may be that if we'd have got Collins, we might not have picked up Mark McNulty. So who knows? Yeah, you don't know. But I think he's the one that we missed at the time that we really wanted. We haven't missed too many. In the period of time that me and Mark have been doing this, we haven't missed too many that we wanted.
Do you have any funny stories about Cov that you would like to tell us?
Hundreds of funny stories, but not to tell you. So I actually asked my colleagues this morning whether they got any funny stories. So the only one that we could really come up with was that Mark Robbins has got a fridge in his office, and he's a bit of a chocolate fiend. So he's really well stocked up on chocolate bars and whatever. So when he leaves, because his days, he gets in really early in the morning, sort of generally mid-afternoon. So when he leaves, the staff like to go into his fridge and pinch his chocolate. So
Pinch his chocolates.
But also they like to get one another into trouble. So if somebody's seen nipping into his pinch of chocolate, then other members of staff try and get photographs of them to him. So, so that's the only funny story that I can tell you, really, that's broadcastable. But there are lots of funny. We do. I believe in having fun in life, and we do try and have a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs and jokes along the way, as you do in any sort of walk of life, in any office environment. We have a lot of banter, and it's good fun. And that's, as I say, the spirit of the building is brilliant, and that is all part of it, to be honest.
Fantastic.
The Family Zone do great work for the young fans. How does the club support them?
Well, you're right. The Family Zone does brilliant work, and we love it, and we're really, really proud of it. Pat Raybold and her team of volunteers, and they are volunteers, put a lot into it. We obviously try and get players to support it, and I know Dom Hyam was a brilliant supporter of it last year. We try and get the players to gift items, etc. We do what we can to support. In honesty, we don't do a lot financially, but they have been sort of self-financing through the various donations that we can raise, etc. But it's a really, really important area of the club, and I know it's an area that you support. It's important to us, and the players. I say Dom's been good. Players in the past have been good in supporting it, so we try and support it that way.
Okay. Who's better, Messi or Ronaldo?
And again, sorry.
Who is better, Messi or Ronaldo?
I think Messi's the most natural of footballers, but they of the two, but they've got their own qualities, haven't they? Ronaldo's a header, isn't he? He scores a lot of headed goals. Great set pieces. Difficult to split them, isn't it? But I think Messi, from a technical point of view, probably is. But
Ashley likes putting people on the spot with that question. He chucks it in.
Yeah, that's fine. I like questions like
that. We know you got to shoot because it's nearly 11:30. But before you go,
I'd just like to say thank you, because if it weren't for you and all the fans, that I would have missed the best season I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah, because so much the fans did the season ticket fundraising, and we was lucky enough to receive free season tickets off the club. So thanks for that. It really helped us this year, didn't it? And that really helped us save money up to get the kits and to do all the away as well.
It was a great initiative from the group of supporters that set it up. Yeah. We are going to do it again. They've been in touch as recently as yesterday. We will support it as best as we can, and we understand that the economy and individual families' economic circumstances may be stretched by obviously the current crisis, but we will do what we can to support it again. It was a fantastic initiative, led by supporters again, and supporters make clubs. It's as simple as that. You haven't got a club without supporters, so we will do our best to support it as we can.
Thank you very much. We know you got to shoot, so thanks very much for taking the time out. It's really brilliant of you. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we're getting a promotion push next season. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, Premiership.
We'll be going for it. Thank you very much. So glad you gave me the opportunity to speak to you as well. Thanks.
I just want to say a big thank you to Dave Boddy for taking time out, very busy schedule today, to interview me. So also as well, because this is the end of the video, you all know what I'm going to say. Like, subscribe, beat up that notification bell, because he deserves it.